All right. So I just want to quickly just touch on something that I encountered while working. Um, I'm getting ready for a release. I'm getting ready to release React Bossa 1.0. So I've been adding, additional React hooks and also writing tests. And this happened while I was writing tests. So what I'm using for testing here is just 26.6. All right. Now, specifically, I want to come to this file. So I created a hook. One of the hooks I created, use UI commands. It basically allows you to, it deals with browser, compatibility issues, bugs, all those things. Some browsers support navigated or clipboard, some browsers don't. And yeah, I've used a couple of polyfills and all of that. So this handles different discrepancies, across browsers, and also just handling copy, paste, and print. And for the print, you can print a part of the page, right? Maybe an unordered list, or let's say you can print a table, just a table, right? And of course, window.print allows you to print the entire page itself. Now, the thing is, there are two tests here, just two tests. There's this one, and then there's this one, right? This one does the copy thing. I run the hook. I just check what the hook returns, and then I'm copying. This is the text to copy. It's up here. And then I just run the assertions. There are just three of them, and it works, right? The problem is this one. So I'm calling print. I don't pass in a ref, so which means it's just going to call window.print. And then I'm running all these five assertions, but I'm starting with this guy, right? Starting with this guy, which is a spy, just spy, which is defined up here. This is the way Jest tells you to do it, right? This is the way. So just to spy, I'm spying on the window object. I'm just spying on the print function and all of that. And these ones are just, I'm just implementing them. They are deprecated APIs on the browser. JSDOM doesn't implement deprecated APIs. Specifically, doesn't implement this one because this uses get selection, window.get selection for text ranges and selections and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, this is not important. Everything here is not really important to this. This is what's important. Now, let me run this test. Let me quickly run this test so you can see. And you can see that this particular spec, this particular test suite, use UI commands.spec.jsx, fails. And it fails right here. Right here on this line. And so, yeah, we have that right here on this line. It fails. But, I'm doing it the way Jest says to do it. Just, and JSDOM doesn't implement window.print because, it's not really a browser. It just stops it. It doesn't really implement window.print because JSDOM cannot actually print anything because it's not a real browser. But I thought that just by doing this, I could, because JSDOM implements this, um, uh, but again, it doesn't really implement it because there is really it doesn't really implement the clipboard API and all of that. But this works, and we see that here, right? The first test passes, which is this one, right? The one for the copy stuff. But the second one fails, and it fails here, and it says, the can be called. But I'm very sure that use UI commands calls window.print. When you do the thing here, right? This returns a promise, which is why I've written it that way. Okay. So like I said, this is where the problem is. So I expect the spy to have been called, but it's not, it's not called. Guess what fixes the problem? guess guess what fixes the problem. Now, I'm going to go to this setup test file. It's somewhere here, I think, because I do, yeah, I do the jest thing here instead of using a jest.config the jest file. So yeah, setup files after env, which is this. So it's a jest file. Yes, I have a couple of things going on here. It's a busy. I'm using Mate. I just copy it out. I don't want it. I don't want to make it like an npm dependency, so I just copy it out. Meet is an event emitter. I use it to implement window.match media because again, JSDOM doesn't really implement window.match media. For some reason, even though I have an implementation here that works for me, that works, but I just don't know why, JSDOM uh, doesn't actually implement window.match media. Yeah. So I have to implement a fake. Yeah, which is what I do here. And yeah, all this stuff. And I'm using this dependency, this npm package, CSS media query, to kind of handle some of the matching and all of that. I'm using some regular expressions. Anyway, that's that's not the point. I'm rambling. And then I implement this event, media query list event. It's specific to this match media stuff, this match media API. This is the solution to this problem right here, right? So let me just uncomment it so you can see it. So I'm reading out this stub created by JSDOM, which throws this not implemented error. So all this stuff down, all it's doing is that it's swallowing an error. It's not allowing the not implemented error thrown by calling window.print. It's not allowing it to show up on the console because it shows up on the console and I don't like it. So I did some research and I found this snippet and it just allows me to just, you know, make sure it doesn't show up on the console. Um, uh, yeah. So that's what this is doing. So here's what I had to do. Jest.fn, writing to window.print, I have to do jest.fn and then do this and then set up some, basic implementation, just firing off some events. I fired the before print event. I fire, I set up a media, a match media, something to match the media, and then I create an event, and the media is print. So because I'm printing, and then I dispatch that event so that if there are any handlers here, they can handle that event and all of that. And then, yeah, I do this in a set timeout after the print is called, set timeout, and then I fire another event after print. And then for some reason, I also have to call this stub, this JSDOM stub. I still have to call it because if I don't do it, I think JSDOM buckles somehow if I don't do it. So I still have to check and, call it and all of that. This is what works, right? So if I save this file, all right, and I go here and I rerun this guy, you can see that it works. That's what I had to do to get this working. This is supposed to work. Guys, I know that, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I need to change this to window.print and to window.print. Then it works again. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so now all the tests pass, as you can see, right? And I think if I look for it right here, yeah. So you can see the two tests are passing. This is UI command suspect. That's this guy. So yeah, this is what I had to do, and then of course I had to take out the spy that I created up here. But I mean, I think it's supposed to work like this. It's supposed to work just like, because this works, right? For this first test case, this works. This write text, you know, spy, just spy, it works. But for window.print, I don't know. It just didn't work. This is what works, and it's based on, yeah, it's based on what I did here. Everything I said to do here. And I think this speaks to the fact that Jest and JSDOM don't quite get along. Or is it JSDOM and Jest? Jest doesn't get along with JSDOM, or JSDOM doesn't get along with Jest. Because I spent almost an hour on this, or I think an hour, almost an hour, trying to figure this out. Because when you search on Stack Overflow, or even on Google, the solution is just spy on the thing, right? Just do spy on, and window print. Like this, you're told to do. This is what you're shown when you search. How do you create a stub or a spy out of um, window.print? This is what you're told to do right here. For some reason, it doesn't work. I don't know. Maybe it works with older versions of Jest, um, but for some reason, it doesn't work with Jest 26.6.3. I don't know. For some reason, I just don't know. This is what I came up with. This is the solution. All of this just to get window.print to work. This was a total waste of my time, to be very honest. And it's why I built this Mocklets, which is basically reusable standard mocks and fakes for popular browser APIs, and all of that. And it allows you to use things like window.location.href, uh, window.confirm, window.print, like I just showed you, without all these not implemented errors being thrown by JSDOM. So Mocklets kind of works around that, and it's so check it out. Check out Mocklets. It's cool. npm install Mocklets. Check it out. When you're writing tests, some of these things might come up. They might prop up. Um, and you need something handy to just solve these things so that you can just focus on writing tests and just shipping stuff. So it only works for Jest for now. Vitest is coming soon. So yeah, and this is what the support looks like. And you can check out, I don't have a docs site ready, but you can check out the README for examples on how to use it.